this Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are listening to the mid-morning talk on Salam Media with me, Mari Makwanda. It is 11:38 on this Monday, the 25th of April 2022. It is time for my journey to Islam, and today's guest is Abdul Salaam Ndwendwa, who reverted to Islam in 2015. When you think about it, hey, 2015 is it's quite a long time ago, considering now that we are in 2022. Wow, mashallah. So Abdul Salam is joining me right now to share his story with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Abdul Salam.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. How are you doing, my beloved sister in Islam?
Alhamdulillah, all good in yourself?
I'm alright, alhamdulillah, my sister.
All right, shukran for joining me. Right now,
MashaAllah.
you reverted to Islam in
In
2015. I was about to say
2015.
2022.
Alright, yeah, in
Right, now
2015.
that like I mentioned, that's been a while ago. So take us back to the time when you were learning about Islam, when you discovered Islam, and then you thought, no, this is something for me.
Okay. Well, honestly, I'm gonna be open about this. Before I reverted to Islam, I was just a lover of knowledge. So I was just so interested in learning. I would pick up a book and read. So I would just read a lot of stories, man, and most of these stories were not making sense. And then, since I was a knowledge seeker, obviously now I would ask myself questions. Like I would have wonders, man. The sun alone will create a mystery. And I'm talking about my teenage years because I reverted when I was 21 to 22. So during my teenage years, like when I was 18, 19, I had a lot of wonders, mysteries, man. Like I would ask myself, why are we here? And I wouldn't hear the right answers. I would want to know, why is there a sun? Who was there before me? The story of Adam and everything like that. And the answers I was getting, they were not making sense to me. It wasn't quite clear, like, why is this happening? Why are we here? Why did God create man? But then I would say I was fortunate to be born in a village where there were Muslims. You should be aware of this. I am coming from like the Val Triangle. The Val Triangle is a huge place on its own. So there are sections there. There's like the towns, there's the townships, there's the town extensions. I am living in a township. I was born and bred in a township. By the name of my township is Sharpeville. It's a popular
Yes.
township here in South Africa as a whole. So I was born in Sharpeville, and you should understand, Sharpeville, it's not really a huge township, but in the Val, we have like bigger townships like Sebokeng. Sebokeng, it's very huge. It's got a lot of zones in it, and we like since it's that big though, you wouldn't find like a masjid in Sebokeng. And Sebokeng is a township. It's approximately like Joburg alone, I'd say the whole of the city center, like considering Auckland Park, the Brixtons and everything, that's like Sebokeng. And the whole of Sebokeng, you wouldn't find a masjid in Sebokeng. Ne? So you should understand Islam is very like little in Sebokeng. And Sharpeville is a very small township, but luckily, like I'm saying, fortunate enough, we had a masjid. And what was more fortunate for me is I lived not so far away from the masjid. From my home, when I stand outside my yard, the masjid is just across the street. So I had a lot of friends who were Muslim because of the masjid that was it's a madrasa again. So growing up from when I was 11, 10, 12, my friends, half of them were like staying at the madrasa, going to high school. Yeah, but the lifestyle was different. And I wasn't really paying attention to it until I was 18, 19, and I still had friends that were studying at the madrasa there in Sharpeville. So now that I am 18, 19, and I'm having a lot of questions in my mind, the mystery is there. I had questions, and if I ask my pastor this question, he doesn't give me the answer that I will get from my Muslim friend. So my Muslim friend turned out to be the one giving me satisfying answers. So I'd say now he created more wonders from when I was 18 to 19 to 20, but now I'm becoming closer to his stories now, you see. So I'd say I went to Islam following the stories, seeking answers because I was wondering. And then it happened, so happened that now I'm 21 and I have so much knowledge. I wouldn't say so much, you wouldn't have all the knowledge in the world. But I'd say now I was a bit learned about Islam. So I had to make a decision because now this guy's been giving me what I didn't know it was dawah then. To him it was like telling the stories, but to me, because I was from the outside looking in, I was just receiving it as pleasing information. Like I like this intellect; it's nice information. And now moving on to 2015, when I actually decided, you know what, I'm gonna revert. Man. So, like reading books, doing rap music, I'm gonna be open. Like I said, I was gonna be open. I was also doing rap music. So, obviously, rap music, as a rapper, you would wanna rap about something. But what are you gonna rap about if you don't read about anything? So, most of us rappers, we tend to read a lot, man. We tend to pick up a lot of books and read about a lot of information. So yeah, but the Quran wasn't amongst the books I was reading. But as a rapper, spiritually, I'd say I'm a spiritual rapper. We call ourselves conscious rappers, but we kind of like focus on we more spiritual than material. We our concepts, our topics are more spiritual. So I'd say my spirit was very troubled then, and I would talk this to my friends all the time. That you know what, guys, I don't feel I think when you're standing in the rain and you don't have an umbrella and the rain is like information. So I felt like there's a lot of information coming down on me and I need an umbrella. What I need is just an umbrella. And then I explained the same thing to my Christian friends, to my non believers friends, to my Muslim friends. But the answers I was getting were different. Until this other day now, I decided, you know what? I am gonna try and go to the masjid because honestly, I used to think this was an Indian thing. You know, I thought, nah, man. If you're not Indian, you're just a follower of an Indian religion. And this is back when I was 19, 20, 21. Still, it's like I'm very far from the deen. But 22 now, I'm closer to it. And just one day, I just decided, you know what? Okay, now I have this information. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then I just decided that you know what? No, man. This information, it's making sense. Remember, I told you I was asking questions which I didn't have the answers to. But now I have the answers. And these answers are appealing to me. It's just up to me what I'm gonna do with the answers. Because now I just looked up to myself like, yo, X, you have the answers, man. You have the answers. It's not like you don't know. Now you know. So I took the decision that, you know what, since this is appealing to me and this is pleasing to me and I understand it, I'm just going to go to the masjid, that masjid I was telling you about, the one across the street. I went to the masjid. I didn't know what an imam was and everything like that. I went there looking for a pastor, met up with the imam to cut the story short, and I explained my why I was there to the imam, my intentions of coming through to the masjid. I asked them questions first, like, do I have to be born of an Islam family? Do I have to be an Indian? And the answers were wrong, wrong, wrong. And now I had to learn again. I had to relearn all the, because you would ask yourself, where are you getting this information anyway? Like, who said Islam is for Indians? Number one, where are you learning that from? But I had to unlearn it. Now the Imam is a Malawian guy. He's not speaking my language. I am a Tswana guy. I speak Sesotho in my neighborhood. I have Xhosa name and a Tswana name. But this guy is none of those. So We speak it in English, but I'm realizing he's an African brother like myself, and he's making me aware that no, man, don't you look at Africa as a whole? Don't look at South Africa. Don't look at Gauteng. What is the most dominant religion in Africa as a whole? I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I've never been outside of South Africa. Maybe yeah. You Malawian, and you're right. I see it. It's making sense. Nigerian, Malawians, you guys dress more. So yeah, that day I thought I've learned much. I I had a chance to learn more when I was sitting with the imam that day. So I was fortunate because I went to the masjid. We spent about 5 hours. I was just sitting with the imam talking. And after our conversation with the imam, I told him straight in his face that my last question was, it's like when somebody is trying to hire you and you asking him, where do I sign the contract? Show me the contract so I can sign. I was like, now how do I become a Muslim? And he just said to me, no man, it's simple. You just have to declare faith. I'm like, declare faith? What do you mean declare faith? He's like, nah, you gotta declare that, you gotta testify that you're gonna believe in God and God alone. And you should acknowledge all the prophets of God and acknowledge Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as his prophet also, you know? And I was like, only that? He's like, yes. I'm like, I don't need to be baptized or anything like that. Like, you don't need to make me a ceremony, or should I go tell my parents at home that, man, you gotta have to make a ceremony and becoming something I wasn't at first. But now he just told me, no, man, you're just gonna declare your faith. And then I declared my faith then, and then he told me to come for Duhuri because I went to him, I think it was around 9, and we talked until Duhuri time. So we talked until maybe 30 minutes before Duhuri. And then he said to me, I don't want you to leave the mosque now, the masjid. I want you to stay for 1 a.m. prayer because I converted around half past 12 to 1, I think. So when it was like to 1, he was like, man, don't go away, man. I want you to pray with us for 1 p.m. prayer, you know? So I'm going to teach you, I'm going to tell somebody to teach you how to make wudu. I want you to come. Okay, no, I'm lying now. My first prayer, I didn't have wudu. But he said, I want you to come and sit in a masjid with us. And you should understand this. I converted before even going inside of the masjid. Like in my life, you remember, you should know, you should also remember this. We don't only think that Islam is an Indian religion, but we also think there's elephants in the masjid. There's statues in the you don't even know what a masjid look like. You thinking, okay, you're gonna find somebody in the masjid that looks like Buddha, and you're gonna have to pray to that statue or something. Bear in mind, I converted to Islam. I haven't been in the masjid. We talked for hours with the imam outside, and then he says I should come inside the masjid for prayer, though I don't know how to pray then. So he just invited me to watch a prayer. When I got inside of the masjid, man, something like this is when I became, this is when my spirit was like, I was telling my friends about my spirit being troubled. My spirit was kind of like finding solace. This is the word I like to use, solace. I found refuge. It's like I sheltered my spirit. My spirit seemed, felt troubled, but as soon as I walked into the masjid, I looked around. I asked myself one question: is this how all the masjids look like? That was the question that was burning me in my head. I'm seeing books. I told you I'm a fan of books. I'm a fan of reading. I'm seeing books that all I'm seeing is books and just a carpet, an open carpet. And I loved meditating then. I'm seeing these people pray. I'm like, nah, man, these people are meditating, man. To me, I, I, I I saw it as meditating, and being inside of the masjid felt like home, man. Felt like a home I never had a chance to know before, you know. Alhamdulillah. So yeah, that was me. I became safe, and then I understood this is how it's gonna be for me for the rest of my life, and this is how the masjid look like, and this is what you do to pray. Then they taught me how to pray. That was the story. Now it was just me, and hey, what's what's amazing is now people around me started converting, going back home. Now I'm giving out dawah. I am becoming That guy who was giving out dawah to me. Because now maybe people are asking you questions, you're giving out answers that are making sense.
Makes
Tell you
sense.
what, my friends are converting, my family is converting, my cousins are. Hey, now my circle is becoming 50% Islam, 50% non-Islam.
Mm.
Back then, it used to be just non-Islam. Just a month into Islam, hey man, I'm having relatives that are becoming Muslim. I'm having a cousin, a close friend of mine. Hey man, my circle is changing. Alhamdulillah.
Mashallah.
MashaAllah.
So now that you mentioned that your circle has changed, did you
Yeah.
have any challenges per se, like from people, from family per se, who decided, hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
what is wrong with you?
Honestly, like 50, like I'm saying, 50%. Like it's like my dad is with me, my mom is not.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, but I wouldn't like, honestly, that's just my life. That's just me. I'm not saying it's gonna happen to any one of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening to me because my parents are my parents, are not your parents, you know. My
Mm-hmm.
mom and my dad are two different people. My mom never went to school all her life. You should
Mm.
understand. My mom is a rural girl. She was like, she's that typical Xhosa woman who grew up in the farms,
Mm.
doesn't know how to read, doesn't care about reading TV, or whatsoever. What she knows is what she was taught when she was growing up at the farm.
Mm.
And she doesn't even take Christianity into consideration. You should understand. Even Christianity doesn't matter to her that way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's my dad, who is like, yeah, almost like me because he went to school, he did that, he has a job, he's got this, he's got, you know, he's learned. So he's leaning to like other religions, although he is not into like Christianity that much. Now he's into Islam. This is the guy that he's just waiting to convert one day because
Mm-hmm.
he's one of those who would greet you with salam. Like a salam, he wants to learn.
Okay.
Like, what do you say? I'm telling dad, I say salam. Okay, salam. What does it mean? Like, I'm learning him. He's willing to learn. He's
Mm.
becoming my partner in Islam also. But my mom is still like skeptical. Like, she's like, okay, she gave up. But at first, she was trying to understand, not giving me a chance, having a lot of questions like, what's going to happen when you die? Mom, Muslim people are going to bury me. You see what I mean? Now I'm not supposed to go to your funeral. Like she would point out negative things, of
Yeah.
which they're not really negative.
Let's say.
She just needs deeper understanding of them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but now she's lenient. Man, it'll be crazy. Like Istinja. She wouldn't want me to do Istinja in her house. Like, are you gonna use the water now? You
Yeah.
For us, like, man, we cleaning the toilet, you making mess. I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna clean. But I clean anyway. So yeah, but now well, honestly now, from where I started, I had to fight. I had
Mm.
to show her that I mean this. And she noticed it by herself now. She's seen my cousins becoming my like the same. Now I'd say she's comfortable with me being Muslim because she realizes I'm not alone. My
Yes.
cousins are also Muslim. One of my best friends they became Muslim, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
so now she's more lenient with the situation. She's like, okay, and maybe the age. I'm no longer 21, 20. It's
Mm-hmm.
8 years later. She's like, okay, maybe he's becoming a man. Maybe he can make his own decisions.
Yeah.
Let's just let him be his own man. Maybe that also is contributing to this because I don't think she wants to like guide me the way she wanted to. She's like, okay, nah,
Mm.
he's able to make his own decisions now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's interesting that you mentioned that.
alhamdulillah.
When she was pointing out the negatives, especially when you were
Stinger.
mentioning like
She didn't
yeah,
like Stinger at all. Like
and
what?
and that's
What
because
are you
she had
doing?
no idea
She doesn't
what
know.
it
And you know
was.
what's weird?
Mm.
I know a person who is one of my favorite friends in Islam that I met because this person, like, when you after converting, you will meet your favorite, like here at the station. If you're gonna come apply at the new place, you're gonna find your favorite people at the station.
Mm.
Like, yeah, I like that person. Not that you don't like other people, but you know your favorite
You
people.
click.
There's people that you
Yeah.
click with. So one of my like the first person I became very close with after joining Islam. That guy. He became Muslim only because of his istinja. That was the only thing that made that guy to want to convert to Islam, because he tells me that he's like, no, man, for me it wasn't no dawah, it wasn't no knowledge. I wasn't. He's not like that. He's not really into reading, and but he's like, yo, I saw these people cleaning. I was like, they clean, man. You know, for him it's like, no, if you're gonna do this when you go to the bathroom, then there's something I don't know, and I'm gonna do it also. So Istinja can make other people convert, because I know somebody who has converted only because of Istinja. But my mom, Istinja is keeping her away, like probably because she doesn't know what I do necessarily with the word. She would say like disgusting things, like yo, stuff that you wouldn't want to hear. Like, yeah.
All right, let us take a quick break
All
and
right.
we will continue thereafter. If you have any questions for Abdul Salam, please send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 He is sharing his journey to Islam. Please stay with us.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
For a long time, we've lived in a centralized world, where institutions held the all-important data and confirmed all transactions. Those times are over. Welcome to Libertas Group, a blockchain developing company boasting an ecosystem that continually redefines the way we do business. Our blockchain is decentralized, making it immune to hacking or alteration, putting the power back in your hands with no middleman so you can focus on the growth of your business. Libertas, the simplest investment choice you'll make.
Imagine the joy of receiving a meal for Sahur or Iftar. Africa. This Ramadan, join Africa Muslims Agency to provide meals to the fasting for 100 Rand a day, a food hamper for 1,500 Rand, or feed a village for 15,000 Rand per day. Imagine your reward for each act of charity in these last 10 nights of Ramadan. Donate today. Call AMA on 011 834 8685 or donate online. Africa Muslims Agency, commemorating 35 years of empowering, educating, inspiring.
World-class financial services only at Sapphire Global, your financial partner. If you are looking for Islamic Sharia and ethical financial products, look no further. Sapphire Global offers a wide range of financial service offerings from short-term to life and investments. A full-service center with all financial requirements under one brand. Our highly skilled and experienced consultants are ready to help protect your financial future. Contact us on 041 001 0184 or visit our website on www.sapphireglobalfs.com. Sapphire Global is an authorized financial services provider.
Many of us take an iftar meal for granted, but not everyone is as fortunate. This Ramadan, the Islamic Dawah movement will provide meals to thousands of Muslims from disadvantaged backgrounds in township masjids, but they need your help. A donation of 20 Rand helps feed a Muslim brother, sister, or child for iftar. Please become an IDM sponsor and earn Sadaqah Jariyah, inshallah. Zakat, Lillah, Sadaqah, Fitra, Kafara, and Fidya contributions are also welcome. Visit idmsa.org to donate or call IDM at 031 304 6883. IDM, taking Islam to as many hearts and homes as possible.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
Sensho is an ethically based asset manager that is focused on delivering superior risk-adjusted returns for their clients regardless of market conditions. For more info on their Sharia investment products, visit their website www.sensho-capital.com and start saving towards your investment goals today. Sensho Capital Management. Invest for good. Sensho Capital Management is an authorized financial services provider. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mari Mukwanda, and still with me is Abdul Salaam Ndwendwa.
Yeah, Ndwendwa. It's a closest name. It means mu'edi or a visitor in English. But the way you say it, I don't like how, like, you should say it how it's meant to be said. You shouldn't say anything else because it's Ndwendwa. If you say something else, then it's no longer it.
All right.
Ndwendwa. Even the rhythm has to be there. You have to apply the rhythm. Ndwendwa.
All right. I'm still with Abdul Salaam, who is sharing his journey to Islam.
You don't want to say
To
Ndwendwa.
Islam 7 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, and now earlier on we were talking about how the challenges that you faced with your family,
Yeah.
etc.
Mhm.
And now, so far from what you've mentioned, it wasn't like that big of a deal. I mean, if I, for lack of better words, I mean, you had family and friends close to you.
Honestly, it was. It was because, I mean, nothing can replace a love of a mother. And it's not nice to have like conflict of religion with your mom, like you constantly fighting for your belief. And it wasn't sitting well with me then. So I would say it was a big issue because I would constantly thinking, I would think maybe it'll be wise for me to just leave her house, you know. So obviously that's like major. It's not. It wasn't sitting well with me. So I'd say it was very terrible, to a point where I would think of just leaving a house, this and that. Because our relationship now, it wasn't good now. Like I was doing something that she wasn't expecting. For her, I was just losing it. Yeah. So, but yeah, it got easier as time went. So Allah made it easy for her to kind of like understand and be comfortable with it. But as for being a big issue, honestly, it was because I would go home and it wasn't the same as it used to be before, man. And it's not nice when it's your mom that's treating you that. Your mom, if it was my dad, like I'm trying to say mom, because if it was my dad, I think I would have just been like, okay, dad, okay, do you, I'll do me, man. I don't know. That's just how I feel about my dad and my mom. Because I think this is why a lot of African men will just leave their kids. And this is why most African people can grow up without a dad, but we cannot grow up without a mom. So with a mom, it's like, yo, mom, you can't do this to me. If you're doing this to me, you are killing me. But if it was that, I would have just, been okay with it anyway.
All right, now
Yeah.
we are in the month of Ramadan, the month of fasting, and we are almost towards the end. Now, talk to us about your Ramadan, the first time you actually started fasting. What
Yeah.
was that experience for you?
What's nice is I converted 5 days before the month of Ramadan. I converted in the month of Shaban. I think it was like the 20 something of Shaban. And then 5 days later, it was Ramadan. This is when Islam got into my bones.
Okay.
Because if you're going to become a Muslim during the month of Ramadan, I promise you, Islam is going straight into your bones. So, yeah, after, and that month, I even sat inside the masjid for 10 days itikaf. And honestly, after sitting in the masjid for 10 days, I couldn't go back home and be the same guy I was. I couldn't even watch. Now I'm telling you my honest truth. I couldn't watch TV. Even now, I am still so I became a new guy. I used to listen to like rap, it could be very explicit.
Yes.
After itikaf, I couldn't listen to a mere Kendrick Lamar. I couldn't listen to a mere J. Cole. These people were very hard for my ear now. I couldn't listen to a lot of rap anymore. I couldn't watch a lot of movies with action, guns, and I was just a different person, man. I wanted to just, you know, drop the TV down, smash it on the floor or something. I didn't like how it's like I wanted to
Your mother
forbid.
would not like that.
My mom wouldn't have allowed it. It's like I couldn't just let people do bad in front of me, man. I wanted to forbid evil. It's like Allah was, yeah, it's Iman. I understand it wasn't me, it was Iman. After converting to Islam, your Iman is very high, high. And I think this is why when your Iman is that high, man, the best thing I'd say is just go away from a community. The community that I live in is very harsh for a Muslim. So like they can contaminate your iman, howsoever, because there's a shibeen at every corner. There's people saying stuff. You wearing a kurta, they calling you names. These are the things that can taint your iman. You doing this, they calling you that. You know. So if a person is gonna advise them to like find a place where your Islam is gonna be growing or your iman is gonna be, nourished. So my iman was very strong, and I would rather stay at home than go out. And my friends, this is when my friends would rather come to my house than anywhere else. And this is when I would only speak of Islam and nothing else. And these were the times where a lot of people are converted. After like a year or two, I don't want to lie, my iman wasn't that strong, eh? I, I think it's because I wasn't speaking a lot of Islam now. And I don't want to lie, it isn't a lot of people that converted after that. A lot of people converted within the first month, like I told you, the first few months when my iman was very strong. And you know what happened with them? Those that converted after me, now their iman was also strong like mine. They helped other people convert. It's about iman. It's about iman. Yeah.
Right, very interesting there. And now, if someone were to ask you,
Yeah.
why should they become a Muslim,
hmm
what
It's
would you tell
simple.
them?
It's simple. My question, if they ask me that question, do you why should you become a Muslim? I'd say if you understood what the word Muslim mean, then you would know why. Because a Muslim, it's just an Arabic word that we can rephrase in many other languages. In Sesotho re tla re, "Lekgoba la Modimo." In English, would say a servant of God. Now in Arabic, they say a Muslim. They saying it's one thing. So you asking me why should you be a servant of God? Who do you want to be a servant of? So the answer is just right there. Like, if you're not gonna be a servant of God, then you're gonna be a servant of music. You're gonna be a servant of yourself. You're gonna see us. Hey, hey, Mariam. you don't know. You don't know people that I live with. Eh? I've got funny friends. Some of them will tell you, "I'm a god. I am a god." And then you ask them, "Are you a god? Do you think God wears socks? What kind of a god wears socks? Are you a god?" Yeah, like it's these mentality. If you don't have anything to believe in, then certainly you're gonna believe in Mariam. You're gonna believe in some. You're gonna find something to believe in. So it's simple, man. You should understand what a Muslim is. If you can understand what a Muslim is, you can. It's simple for you to understand why you're here in the first place. A Muslim is a human being. A Muslim is it's just a normal human being, man. Like we are brought up here to serve God and please God and do nothing but praise God. Because I mean, you would ask yourself, if I was in here today at 12:12 on the 20 something of April, where would I be at? And what will I be doing? So it means God gave me that opportunity to be here. So it wasn't my dad. My dad is not a God. So it means I have to please that the creator, something that brought me here in the first place. Because I never brought myself here. You would ask yourself who created these trees, the birds. And these birds, I mean, Islam is making things simple, man. Islam is teaching us that all creation of God is supplicating to God. It's, you know, they look up to God like the creator. The birds are making du'as, fishes in the water making du'as. So as a human being, if you're not gonna be doing what, because as a human being, again, you should understand you have a consciousness. Reason why I had to say to you it's 12:13 on the day this such and such day of this month, that alone is conscious. Any other animal doesn't have that. Our difference with a chicken or a bird or a cow, it's conscience.
Intellect.
That intellect, So it means we can with our intellect we can do bad or good.
Yeah.
They don't
We
these
get to choose.
we get to choose. So the birds and the dogs, they don't really sin. So it means they live in a righteous life. There's no way a lion is gonna come eat Mariam just cause it wants to spite on Mariam. It doesn't like it. It thought about it before it came to you. It just want to eat. If a lion is gonna eat Mariam, it's merely because it wanted to eat. But with us men, since we're conscious, I mean, we should understand the word Muslim, and it's gonna answer our consciousness, our being as human beings.
All right, Abdul Salam, I'm gonna stop you there.
All right.
I know that we could continue with this conversation.
Yo,
We've got lots to say,
like I
lots to
told
share,
you,
but
it could go
unfortunately,
forever.
it
Yeah.
could go for a long
Yeah.
time. But we're gonna leave it there. Shukran so much
Alhamdulillah.
for your time
Jazakallah.
and for
Jazakallah,
sharing your
Mariam.
story with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me to your show, Mariam. It was a great pleasure to be here, invited at Salam Media. What an experience, man. And to all the listener, I mean, to a listener of Salam Media, I don't want to say all listeners. I don't know who's listening. Maybe somebody's listening alone in their car, and I'm talking about all listeners. It's like I'm not talking about them anymore. To a listener of Salam Media, I'd also want to thank them for like giving me the opportunity to listen to my story, Abdul Salam story. Yeah, all right.
Right. Shukran so much once again. Have a
Alhamdulillah.
wonderful day.
Jazakallah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. All right.
All right, Abdul Salaam Ndwendwa sharing his journey to Islam. Very interesting story, and if you've missed out, you can find it on our Facebook page. Watch it from the beginning, listen to it, and share your comments with us. We'd love to hear what you thought, what you think, and find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And WhatsApp is 061 766 0355.